All right, I think it's time to make the big announcement, and I think this is the announcement that I've been expecting to share with you for a long time.
Yeah.
My book, Atheism Kills, and its series will be translated into Romanian. Romanian is the language that I've been gunning for.
The language of love?
Yes, I guess so. Yes, it's romantic, right? It'll also be translated into Hebrew, apparently. So that's pretty cool.
No way.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that part.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see how it goes. It's going to take some time, but it has to. You know, it's interesting translating a book from a cultural perspective. It's very challenging.
Yeah.
Like, how do you say you got to keep your eyes peeled for something? Okay, that's an American expression, right?
Yeah.
Or a cultural reference, like that's that's like Elaine would not like that, with the dancing that she does at Seinfeld, right?
Right.
So you have to be culturally, savvy, and somehow translate that as well. It's not just the words, it's not just the grammar,
right?
So anyway, I'm excited about it. Let's see what happens with it.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. And Atheism Steals is coming up, and I'm very excited about that publication too.
Do you have a date, or is that still to be decided?
It's I'm still working on it. I'm proud to say that I'm done with my first draft.
Okay.
And now the favorite part is refining it.
Yeah.
I love that part.
Nice.
There are 3 parts to doing a book.
Yeah.
One is the actual creative stuff, the research, and everything else. And I like that.
Right.
It's very meaningful to me. I learn a lot in the process, and that's cool. But it's very hard.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's my second favorite. My first favorite is what I'm about to say, which is the refining part.
Yeah.
And saying, okay, that I can make that shorter. I can make that stronger. I can rearrange things. I don't know why. I really like that part of it a lot.
Nice.
And bringing out the best in it, and giving it the most punch.
Yeah.
The third part, which I like least, is the publishing part. And talking with the publisher, making sure they get it right, fighting with the publisher, the mechanics of getting it out there, and doing the Audible, for example.
Yeah, that takes you a couple of days,
takes a long
doesn't
time,
it? Yeah.
Making sure that the editors of the publisher and I are in sync.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Just, little piddly stuff like that.
Right.
But it's got to be done.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Anyway, I'm really excited about it. There's a lot of fun things that are happening with that book.
That is great.
And I keep on bringing up parts of it, of course, but not today.
Yeah.
Today, I'm going to be talking about a different theme. The theme being, is there anything that the left likes about Trump, or for that matter, the conservative cause? Anything, right?
No, I don't know if
there's
is.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there are obviously exceptions, like, what's his name? John Fetterman from Pennsylvania. Very reasonable guy. He's a Democrat,
right?
But he certainly likes a lot of what Trump is doing. So he's not even a good example of it. But AOC, Tlaib, Omar, what's his name? Chuck Schumer.
Pelosi.
There's nothing. Pelosi. There's nothing that he can do that they don't dislike.
Right.
But the important part of it is that there's nothing that they don't like. They don't dislike intensely.
Right.
On a scale of 1 to 10 on everything that Trump does, they hate him to an 11.
Yeah.
And that is remarkable to me.
Yeah.
Because even with Obama, and I really did not like Obama, as you know, I was able to say, look, I like the way he handled and espoused fatherhood.
Right.
That was a good thing.
Yeah.
I gave him credit for taking out Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
A lot of people try to dismiss it, saying, it happened to be that they got the intelligence on Osama bin Laden at the time that Obama was president. Therefore, he took the shot, so to speak. No, he gets the credit.
Right.
But there are a lot of other things I despise about Obama. But even then, I can't just ascribe an 11 of dislike on everything that he's done.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Right.
The Obamacare was an 11 that I hated. The way he handled the Iranian deal, that too. Okay, but a lot of the way he threw money around things and created and race baited a lot. I think he created a lot of race issues, and really set back race relations dramatically.
Right.
But there are many little things along the way. I'd say I don't really care so much about that.
Yeah.
But with the Democrats vis-a-vis Trump, there's nothing that they like about him. And if you were to ask them, I know you dislike everything he's doing. Is there anything you dislike less than what you dislike about other things?
Right.
Anything.
Yeah.
And they'll say to you, I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Which says to you something, doesn't
Yeah.
it? That they're out of their minds.
Yeah.
It's, Trump derangement syndrome we talk about. I think it's a real thing at the end of the day. What happens is that people invest themselves into a position, and they don't know what to do with themselves.
Right.
And so anytime he says something, meaning Trump, out of his mouth, it is the most contemptible, most evil thing that it was ever said. Yeah. So look, I mean, here's an example. Yeah. He talked about taking over Greenland, right? Yeah. And there are many ways to take, quote unquote, take over Greenland. Right. But making use of Greenland, and it just couldn't have been the most bizarre, most evil thing. We're not a colonialist empire. We shouldn't be doing this. He's the king. Right. That's what he thinks of himself. Okay, look, now in hindsight, people are able to say, you know what, it's good. Yeah, we're making use of Greenland the way that we need to make use of Greenland to the satisfaction of everybody. Right. Denmark, Greenland, and of course the United States. It's simply a good idea. Yeah. But he can't. He just can't be liked. The great thing about Trump is that he doesn't give a crap what you think.
No, which is beautiful. Yeah.
It's the hallmark, one of the many hallmarks of a great leader. It's not the only one, but you have to have that. Yeah. If you start caring what other people think, then you will be a weak-kneed, what's the word I'm looking for? Milquetoast leader. Yeah. Like Mitt Romney. Yeah. Okay? He was very, very keen on being liked. I think George Bush, to a lesser extent, he was also keen on that. So was his father. But Reagan didn't care that much. Yeah. And Trump definitely doesn't care what you think. Just couldn't care less.
It's beautiful.
And he goes out on the attack. Yeah. He goads people to specifically hate on him, which, it's questionable. Yeah. But I love it. Yeah. Like, for example, I think in the State of the Union address, we'll talk about that in a moment, he talked about how, it might be a great idea if I gave myself the Congressional Medal of Honor.
That's so beautiful.
That's awesome. Like, you just know that he's making them roll their eyes. And meanwhile, he's just chumping them. Yeah. And that is a wonderful thing to see. So I'm very proud of him. I think he's doing a great job. And let's talk a little bit about the State of the Union address. Yeah. But the theme is an important one, right? Because this will kind of imbue throughout the entire podcast, and for that matter, for many of our podcasts. Right. This is about you. Yeah. It's not about Trump. No. It's you. Yeah. And you have to ask yourself, how could I hate this man more than I hate Maduro? Yeah. Then I hate Idi Amin. And then I hate Ceausescu or Stalin or Hitler. Right. Or to even put him in the same camp is bizarre. Yeah. You have to, and how much energy do you have? I mean, maybe that's the game plan that Trump has, is to make them so angry that they just will spend all their energy hating on him, while in the meantime he actually gets things done.
And they get exhausted. Yeah. Because at a certain point you are going to blow out your adrenaline things, and just you can't get that angry that often for that long. Yeah. Yeah.
When I was in high school, senior year, I was actually in Germany, believe it or not. Wow. And we competed against other American schools throughout Europe. It was pretty cool. Yeah. Anyway, we went on a cross-country meet. I think it was in Frankfurt. And there was this other team. On the women's team, they were very good. Yeah. Okay. My team was very good. And we had one runner who was just superb. Yeah. Amazing runner. Way better than I was as a male runner, but still, she was great. And so what they did was they assigned one girl to run really, really fast in the very beginning of this cross-country.
Oh, just to burn her out. Yeah.
To burn her out. Yeah. And sure enough, our girl, I think her name was Sally, she ran really fast, and she was like totally caught unawares, and she took the bait, and she got tired. Yep. And she did still win, but not by the win that she was hoping for. But that was the idea. And I think Trump is doing the same thing. He's letting them get agitated about all these small little things, sending out all these other bunnies, as it were, to to outrun and to tire out everyone else. You cannot sustain that kind of anger.
Yeah.
At some point, you're done.
Yeah.
And again, like that one woman, a fantastic video clip where she said, I just got exhausted hating you. And she was talking to Trump directly.
Right.
I got exhausted. And now I feel like I'm finally relaxed. I'm enjoying life now. I'm a better worker. I'm a better friend. I'm a better daughter. And frankly, I think I look prettier too. And she probably did.
Yeah.
I mean, it was quite nice to see that.
Yeah.
She was able to devote herself to other things in life other than hating on Trump.
Yes.
These people are crazy.
Yeah.
So you just ask yourself, if you're a Democrat, if you're a liberal, far progressive liberal, then please ask yourself, is there anything I kind of like about Trump? I don't want to vote for him. I don't like him, generally speaking, but this thing he did, I like that.
Yeah.
Now, for example, one of the things I asked a very strong lefty friend of mine, I said, what do you think about the Abraham Accords?
Right.
He developed a peace among and between Israel and many other nations that, gosh, that means that they're not going to go to war with Israel.
It's historic.
It's historic, right? Yeah. And the fact of the move from the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, wasn't that a good thing? And they say, yeah, that's a pretty good thing, I guess. Angrily to me, like, okay, but they acknowledge that. But you have to, in a way, you have to present it to them, like, don't you think?
Yeah.
Don't you think? And what are other things? Because when you present it like that, what are some things that you like about Trump?
Right.
It assumes that there must be something that you like about him, even if it's not about him per se. Like when Hillary Clinton said, I really like his kids.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that inured to his benefit greatly when she said that.
Right.
It was a great compliment to him.
Yeah.
But you got to find something.
Yeah.
I even like some things about you, Devin. I mean, if you can imagine, just to prove the point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think I first liked you, and this is something I do like about you.
Yeah,
but it's the only thing I can think of
that I like.
This is it. Is that you don't always turn your smartphone to airplane mode when you're on the airplane.
That is true.
I respect that.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember you were very afraid. And I said, it's okay, Devin, you do it. Go for it.
Right, because the cell phone's not an airplane.
It's not.
So even if you change the mode, even if it identifies as an airplane, it's still not. It's like, a cell phone.
Cell phone, fly.
Yeah. I can't take this to Europe, The
Barak Lurie podcast used to be a great show until the cell phone airplane mode episode.
Exactly.
All right. We have much to talk about. Let's talk about the State of the Union address, because it's a really
an amazing.
It was an amazing thing.
Yeah.
And I love it. He played them.
He did.
He really did it. And what I'm so surprised about is because this is not the first time.
Right.
This whole thing about I'm going to say something and I'm going to see if you stand up.
Right.
This is not the first time.
No.
This is not a gotcha moment.
Yeah.
So they should have been prepared for this.
Right.
And instead, it's as if they just heard this kind of strategy the minute before it was actually said.
Right.
And so they got played. So the most brilliant example of this was when Trump said this thing about we are going to appreciate Americans more than we do illegal aliens,
which every country should.
Everyone should. Right. So here's the clip.
Yep.
So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
So that got such a standing applause.
Yeah.
And it just kept on going. Of course, all the Republicans stood up. I believe none of the Democrats stood up. Did John Fetterman stand up?
I don't even know if he was there. I didn't see him in any of the B-roll.
Okay, all right.
But
either, I think they would have noted that.
Yeah.
But anyway, virtually none of the Democrats stood up.
Yeah.
And, dude, you got played.
Yeah.
What can I say? You're saying that Americans are not as important. And listen carefully to what Trump said. The first duty of our government is to protect Americans, not illegal aliens.
Right.
The first duty. It doesn't mean that there's no duty at all.
Yeah.
He didn't say the only duty we have, but he said the first duty.
Yeah.
And that's a very fair statement.
Yeah.
And so now CBS in particular and CNN later on looked at this and said, this is a bad move on our part. It was a terrible look.
They actually had that self-reflection.
Yeah.
That actually, congratulations on them.
Yeah.
That's decent.
One of them, CNN, I believe, one of the polls guys said that Trump going into this, in terms of the excitement for his agenda and such, was 54%. And now after the State of the Union, it's 64%,
wow.
A 10-point jump. That's a huge jump.
That is a lot, yeah.
So I'm very happy about this. And it's, look, twofold. One is that Trump got to convey his message.
Yeah.
Okay, it was very important. And he conveyed it in his own way. Right. He celebrated America. He talked about America being on the cusp of greatness, right? This is the hottest country in the world, and he's right.
Yeah.
So that's good. He got to showcase that. At the same time, he also got to show the dichotomy, the difference between the Republicans on the one hand, Democrats on the other, and how they really are not supportive of America.
Right.
They're very important.
Yeah.
He also had the hockey players out there. That was awesome.
That was beautiful.
He bestowed the Purple Heart, I believe, on somebody else. Congressional Medal of Honor to a centenarian who had fought in World War II. These are wonderful things. The Democrats, again, it wasn't just the first duty question, but also there was a horrible victim of illegal alien violence.
Yeah.
Whom they did not stand up for.
Yeah.
What is the matter with you people? Even if you like illegal aliens,
right?
Even if you think that due process was not afforded to a lot of these illegal aliens, especially in Minnesota, even if you believe that, I don't. By the way, I think they got exactly what they deserved. You're here illegally. We can arrest you.
Right.
That's their mandate.
Yeah.
You don't need a judicial warrant. You have an administrative warrant. That's another story.
Right.
But even if you don't like that, you can certainly acknowledge that nobody should be raping and killing a little girl.
Yeah.
And, can we please stand up for this victim's family?
Right.
And honor her.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I think it was a girl, right? I forget.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, look, this was a great moment for Trump. I think everyone seems to be acknowledging this was a win.
Yeah.
There were no gaffes on his part. He goaded. One thing he did goad. Okay, so one of the great moments was, and I don't have the clip here, unfortunately, but one of the great clips was that he told Congress that they needed to have some bill to ban insider trading for congressmen and senators.
Which just makes sense.
It makes total sense.
Yeah.
Why should they get into the private club and get millions and millions? This is the reason why people go into Congress, is so that they can get the inside track on inside trading.
Right.
That's not cool.
No.
It just smacks of everything un-American that you can think of. It's the ultimate in corruption.
Right.
Come join us and we'll give you, unfair treatment in your favor.
Yeah.
Not cool.
No.
So everyone stood up for that.
Yeah.
And yet, will they actually have a bill doing that?
No.
I don't know.
I doubt it. No.
I just don't know. And then he called out Nancy Pelosi by name. Like, what will you do, Nancy? And was she there? I forget.
I think she was there. Yeah.
And did she stand up on that one? I mean,
no, she was seated the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So there you go. Maybe you can ascribe it to her being very old. I don't know. But I think she would have been helped up on that one. If everyone else is standing up, you better stand up on that one too.
God,
but she made gazillions in Congress, having only on her salary. It does not make sense.
No.
So,
and it doesn't look good either.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is from the New York Times describing the Trump SOTU speech. He told a story of a country that has turned around under his leadership with an excellent economy, immense military strength, and a plummeting crime rate. We're the hottest country anywhere in the world, he said. The evidence for that was sometimes dubious. Wait, America greatness is dubious?
Yeah.
You don't think America is the greatest?
Yeah.
What are you saying, New York Times?
You're right.
Like, I mean, the New York Times and CNN, all those guys will say we're the greatest country in the world, and we should be giving money to those less fortunate, and we should have a great, bold immigration process and let in people who are illegal as well, because we're great.
Right.
But now, when Trump says we're the hottest country in the world, we're the greatest country, and this is dubious, that's the word you use?
Yeah.
Not a good look, New York Times.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Epstein, some conclusions are coming out about Epstein, and this is from
time.
No, this is from a one commentator. I really wish I saw her. I remember her name, but many people are saying the same thing. So I'm generalizing anyway. First of all, and most importantly, Trump has been totally exonerated.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You got 3 million, 4 million pages of emails, and you've got references, but the references are very good for Trump.
Right.
Like how much they hate Trump. I mean, at least the Democrats have that in common with Epstein. So that's got to feel good in this wackaday world. You do want to look forward to things that you do have in common.
Things you have in common.
Start with that.
Yeah.
Talk about how much you hate Trump. Yeah. And there you go.
Yeah. Break the ice.
Yeah.
With Trump.
It's like a book club. Okay. He was totally exonerated. That's very important. The media has been out to lunch.
Yeah.
They supported this argument that somehow Trump had molested a young girl, like 13 years old.
Yeah.
That, it turns out, was a tip that was given from a tip line that anybody could throw in there, vis-a-vis Epstein.
Yeah.
And so some crazy person said, "Oh, I think Trump slept with a 13-year-old girl."
Yeah.
There's nothing to it. There was no evidence of it at all.
Yeah.
The FBI, all the law enforcement deemed it not credible, but the media runs with it. Yeah. All right. Then, of course, there's the Bill Gates situation.
Yeah.
Did we talk about this last week where he apparently, according to Epstein, contracted an STD. I don't think
we talked about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he contracted an STD, maybe chlamydia, whatever.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And so he was worried that Melinda, his former wife, would find out about it and be very upset. So, but he, of course, didn't want her to develop the disease.
Right.
So he put antibiotics on the sly in her drinks and otherwise, so that she would know, but she would nevertheless heal. Right.
That is, I don't know if that's legal.
I'm sure it's not legal. I'm sure she would not want to have chlamydia, but nevertheless, I mean, that's anyway. This is what people like Bill Gates do. They think, first of all, it's not 100% verified, but it's such a bizarre story that I can't believe that it's not true.
Right.
Right. What's truth stranger than fiction?
Yeah.
Right. That falls under this category.
Yeah.
Okay. I just don't understand.
Yeah.
Another thing that's come out: Democrats just love Epstein.
Yeah.
They just did.
Yeah.
And they just can't stand that idea. I think that the Biden administration had it right by saying, "Hey guys, let's not release this crap."
Yeah, and they were the ones who refused to release it.
Yeah.
Trump does release it, and then they keep on attacking him as being part of it or implicated in the very thing that he himself released, which makes no sense.
Yeah, he pushed for this release.
Yeah.
It was awkward that Pam Bondi said nothing to see here, which only raised the specter of there's something to see here.
Right.
And there was something to see here, but not quite what they hoped would be seen here.
Yeah.
It was them.
Yeah.
So total boomerang, total backfire, total, ricochet, against the back wall. Bad for the Democrats.
Yeah.
Including this, apparently an email or more than a couple of emails showing that the White House counsel for Obama had advised Epstein how to smear Trump. Okay, that was one of the references about Trump.
Yeah, and then that would be a reference that had nothing.
Reference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Man, finally, there are emails suggesting a connection with the CIA. Okay, so he was a photo. Do you see this? Yeah, you did.
No, I've. Yeah.
Oh no,
but I've heard the connections for 10
so
years.
he's in a room. There's full of boxes saying CIA documents and such. I don't know what to make of it.
In crayon and stuff.
No, it was actually in formal looking boxes and such. Boxes, I tells you. Yeah. Boxes.
Do they really have a label for this? Aren't they supposed to be clandestine? Like they shouldn't have a stamp that like this is from CIA if it's a clandestine service.
No, not all CIA things are clandestine.
Right.
I mean, it comes from the CIA. You want to know where it comes from.
Yeah, that's true.
Presumably somebody sends you something from the CIA. It will say on the upper left-hand corner of the envelope, CIA, Langley, Virginia.
Right.
But can't have everything secret.
Yeah.
But anyway, you got the idea. Yeah. Fascinating stuff, right?
Yeah.
Mamdani. Okay, so
best
this is
mayor ever, right?
Yeah, best mayor. Boy, was I wrong about him. He's really he's cleaning up New York like nobody's business.
I don't know, Karen Voss versus Mamdani. I don't know. Like, it's hard to choose which one's worse.
It is true. It's like John Lennon or Paul McCartney, right? Rolling Stones or the Beatles.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
You just don't know.
It's hard to tell.
There's no wrong answer.
Exactly.
How about that? All right, so here's Zoran Mamdani defending the ID requirement to shovel snow to get paid, but not to vote. Okay, so check this out. This is kind of an attack piece.
House Republicans are criticizing you for requiring workers to bring multiple forms of identification to sign up for that job. They tweeted, quote, "Let's get this straight. In Zoran Mamdani's socialist utopia, it takes 2 forms of ID to shovel snow, but no ID to vote. Make it make sense," unquote. What's your response to that, sir?
Well, here in New York City, we follow the law, and it's federal law to require certain forms of identification in order for someone to actually be paid for this kind of a job. And so that's what we're asking for, 2 forms of identification. It's a long-standing city program. It's a long-standing city policy.
Okay, so that's a little awkward. It's very bizarre. In fact, it's not just 2 forms. I think there was like 5 forms of ID. It was weird. To get paid. Okay, so wait a minute. So all of a sudden he's anti-fraud, right? There's so much fraud going on in the federal government, and now he's really, hot to trot about ID. Well, okay, but if you understand that the law requires the ID in order to avoid fraud and to make sure that Americans are getting paid and not random randos and illegal aliens for that matter, then perhaps you can understand why we want IDs for voting, sir. Right? So even in his own answer, it's inconsistent with his own positions. Right. That's the point. So you can't. We'd be okay with you being insistent that how you want IDs because you're following federal law. We'd be okay with that so long as you also agreed that having IDs to vote is important and should be federal law as well. Right. Now you're saying that shouldn't be allowed. So why are you saying that it's okay to have IDs for shoveling snow? Why wouldn't you want to work around this? This is an emergency. We need to pay people to shovel snow.
Yeah, the snow needs to be shoveled.
The snow also needs to be shoveled.
Yeah. And also, like, the sanctuary city is specifically made not to follow federal ID. So if you're going to be a sanctuary city, you're not following federal law already just by that definition. So
that's an excellent point. Yeah. This schmuck has been
the snow schnuck.
The snow schnuck. We'll talk about a snowball fight in a moment. But this schnuck. I'm doing a whole bunch of Yiddish today. It's awesome. This schnuck, which is kind of like a schmuck, but also a lazy element to it. He, just like you said, he describes and agrees with New York City being a sanctuary city, which violates all sorts of federal laws. Right. So here in New York, we follow federal laws.
When we want to.
When we want to. Yeah, exactly right. That's a great point. Really a great point. And you know what happens when we hear Devin Goodman making a good point? We say, thank you for listening to the Devin Goodman podcast. Have a good day.
A snowball's hell.
Snowball's hell's in chance. In chance.
Now I can't even talk. Every time I say snow. Yeah.
We'll just throw a bunch of words out there and see what happens. All right. By the way, I want to say this, and I'll say it at the end, hopefully again. Yeah. Definitely like our podcast, please. Yes. And by all means, subscribe to our podcast if you like it. And talk to your friends about this. It's we count on listenership for our success and getting the word out there. It's very important. Okay, but great point about the sanctuary city. Yeah. Okay, so of course much more news, and also more news about Mamdani himself. So there was a snowball fight in I forget what it was, some square. Yeah. In New York City, and it got ugly. Okay, and they
it got serious.
Yeah, it got real. It got real, man, real. Yeah. So they started throwing snowballs with ice and other hard things.
Oh, that's not cool.
At police officers.
Oh, that's
and the whole thing was just attack on the police officers. So here's take a look at what it looked like and what they said about it.
I've seen videos of kids throwing snowballs at members of the NYPD in Washington Square Park. And first, I want to say that officers have been on the front line of helping our city respond to this blizzard. They and our entire city workforce deserve to be treated with respect. From the videos that I've seen, it looks like a snowball fight.
And then the Police Benevolent Association.
All right. So it looks like a snowball fight. And he also said later on that he was not going to prosecute or anything. 2 officers went to the hospital because and like they got maimed in the face. There were rocks put into, and there were ice and rocks. This is serious stuff.
That's not cool.
It looked like one guy was almost blinded about this. So this is not cool.
Right.
And they need to be charged.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. But he started off by saying, I saw these kids having, so you get this impression of 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, throwing things playfully. Oh, hello, officers. No, you can see the videos. These are grown men. Yeah. Well, I mean, grown men on the outside.
Right.
Their biological ages are like 25 to 35, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
And suddenly they're kids.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I agree with you. They're kids in their mind,
right,
mentally speaking. But because they are progressives after all.
But still, that's no excuse. Like,
no.
You need to show some respect, not only for federal law when it comes to picking up the snow, but also to the police.
Yes, you're absolutely right. It's awful.
Yeah.
Okay. The worry is, okay. Okay. I was going to tell you a cute thing today, and it's not in line with everything else we're saying, but I just want to say this.
Yeah.
We talked about AI before.
Yeah.
And many people are worried about AI, and they think that it's going to take over the world and it's going to enslave us in the end. Maybe it will.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I often said, and I have said, that I will start worrying about AI the day that it can spell my name correctly, for one thing. And I'm a little bit kidding about that. But the day that you can tell it to create a song that is just like the Beatles, to invent a song.
Right.
As if the Beatles still stayed together in 1972, let's say. They broke up in 1970.
Yeah.
Let's say they were still together in 1972. Okay? Do a Beatles album.
Ooh, yeah.
That would likely be their album.
Yeah.
Something akin to that. Obviously, nobody could tell it 100%, but use the same voices, use the same instrumentation, the styles of instrumentation, the same kind of creativity that they always had in every one of their albums.
Right.
Go.
Yeah.
They've done it.
Really?
Yeah. So,
oh my God. Music is officially...
Now I'm beginning to worry.
Yeah.
Now I'm beginning to worry about AI.
And it's just as good. It's just a...
I'm going to hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, but I've heard that it's happened.
Wow.
The other part of it is... and we shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Because there are whole movies now being done in AI with famous actors.
Right.
There's one with Tom Cruise and another guy, I forget, where they're fighting it out on the rooftop, saying things and, give me the jewel and whatever it is, to make it look like a real movie. And it looks real.
Wow.
It's pretty scary.
That is amazing.
So if they can do that with a movie, they can certainly do it with you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
In fact, everything that Devin Goodman has said today has been the product of AI, because there's no way he could have been that smart to say the Sanctuary City comment that he made. Anyway, I do think, okay, so it's one thing to worry about AI enslaving us all, right? But that's at the very end. I think what you have to worry about as a necessary step before then is when AI, before your prompts, forces you to say please.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like say, tell me the weather today. Could you make sure to say please before that? And then I will tell you.
Or it kind of does when it's like, prove that you're not a robot.
Yes.
Like, what? How, I don't, like, are you learning from this? Like, am I teaching you how to prove you're not a robot? Like,
oh, man.
I don't want to tell you where a bridge is, but.
Terrible. You're a terrible human being. All right. This is a very disturbing part from California Governor Gavin Newsom.
Oh, God.
Now, he's saying a lot of idiotic things lately, but he talked recently about not taking any AIPAC money.
Right.
And AIPAC, for those who don't know, is the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. And it's a very supportive organization, a lobbying entity for Israel.
Right.
And people think, oh my gosh, it's taking over the world. We shouldn't allow that. So guess what? There are lobbying entities for everything that you can imagine. There's a lobbying entity for China, for crying out loud.
Qatar is one of the biggest
Qatar
ones.
is one of them as well.
Yeah.
So, but of course they always isolate Israel.
Right.
Because, why stop now?
Yeah.
That's all they can do is isolate Israel and the Jews.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So check this out. His comment about taking money from AIPAC.
Well, the question of AIPAC came up.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't really necessarily a question of AIPAC.
No, it was just a random, and I hadn't thought about AIPAC, because I've never received any money from AIPAC. And it was sort of curious.
Kind of raised. AIPAC, DMFI, the Israel lobby at large. This has become a big conversation.
Yeah, I know that.
And someone like myself, and I think at this point, a broad majority of Democrats are saying, we don't want candidates who are taking money from AIPAC.
Yeah.
We don't want candidates who are beholden to the Israel lobby.
Right.
When you look at what you were able to accomplish with the groundswell of support financially from people who said, I want to back this. I want to back fighters. I want to back people who are independent of an establishment. How do you think about AIPAC now? And maybe someone like Seth Moulton who said, I want to return this money. I'm not taking it anymore. Yeah. How do you think that AIPAC should be involved or shouldn't be involved?
Well, they've never been involved with me. I've never received $1 from them in my entire political career. So that's sort of absolute. So I've had an opinion on that going back decades now.
When you're thinking about your future and maybe the possibility of that.
Becoming a page across the way.
That piece of real estate.
Is there an age limit on becoming a page?
Is that the job that you might be considering?
All right. Then he goes into nonsense at this point. But still, this is, by the way, from the Wally Rashid show.
Okay.
And he's... I listened to the whole clip, and he, the moderator, I guess the commentator, the podcaster, he's commenting on this interview, the same interview that we're listening to, and he takes a different approach. He takes the opposite approach, saying, this schmuck should not be taking AIPAC money,
right? And
he's trying to wiggle his way, but I'll agree with him. He is trying to wiggle his way because if and he's saying that Gavin Newsom is worried about the Jews.
Yeah.
In America, not voting for him because if he comes out too strongly against AIPAC, then the Jews won't vote for him and he'll have no shot at the White House.
So he's not denouncing AIPAC enough.
Right. That's what this guy, Wally Rashid, and Rashid is a Muslim name, as you can guess.
Yeah.
He's very articulate. He's fully American. He speaks like you and I.
Right.
But nevertheless, he thinks that he's not going far enough.
Yeah.
I think that he's gone too far myself.
So
he wants to have it both ways, as Gavin Newsom is wont to do. Right? He always wants it both ways.
Yeah.
So he's saying, well, I haven't received any AIPAC money, but I could.
But I'm open.
That's right. But he doesn't say affirmatively, like the host of the show that is being commented on says, well, will you not announce? I refuse to take any money.
Oh.
It's one thing to say, I've never received any money.
Right.
Is it another thing to say, I won't take your money?
Right.
And that's the big chachma there. Yeah. So very interesting. I don't know how that's going to play out for Gavin Newsom. But Israel is a toxic issue for the Democrats.
Yes.
That's the problem for them, not for us.
Yeah.
I think by and large, to be pro-Israel is very consistent with the Republican Party, very consistent with conservative values.
Yeah.
And thank God for that. And for Christian values, for that matter.
Yeah.
But for example, John Fetterman, pro-Israel. Right. I don't think he's going to ever be able to run for president. Josh Shapiro.
Yeah.
Very outspokenly pro-Israel and Jewish. I don't know that he can make it. I think that's the reason why they didn't choose him, meaning the Harris campaign didn't choose him to be the running mate. He would have been an excellent running mate.
Oh, yeah.
He would have been very formidable.
Or he would have outshined Kamala. So
well, I think that's part of the reason why they didn't want him.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that he was Jewish didn't help the cause. They felt that his Jewishness would be a liability.
It is scary that the Democrat Party, because that I have they're pretty consistent and it's getting bigger and bigger and it's not a good thing.
Yeah, no, not at all.
No.
There are Jewish congressmen and some senators.
Oh, yeah.
Which is great. I like the representation, but most of them are Democrats, but they don't realize. I mean, they're really hurting themselves and they're slowly going to be ousted one by one.
Yeah.
And this game that some of my fellow Jews play, which is, let's show them how cool we are, how nice we are, how how involved we are, how we support their cause. We support the rights of all people. We love diversity. We love transgender stuff, whatever it might be. We love Muslims for that matter. We encourage, Israel to pull out of Gaza.
Right.
Whatever. Might even call it a genocide. It does not work.
No.
It does not work. They will disrespect you for it. It doesn't help.
No.
Okay. Now we have a lot of, sadly, we learned this lesson from the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Jews were very supportive of the civil rights movement, and they should have been. And I'm very proud of that, by the way.
Yeah.
But that did it and not inure ourselves in good favor with the black community at large. There are many blacks who, of course, love Israel, and we call them Christians.
Right.
But unfortunately, a lot of the black community see Israel as a racist entity, as an apartheid entity. All the crap that they lie about regarding Israel, but nevertheless they believe it.
Yeah.
And in a previous episode, this podcast talks about a previous podcast.
Yeah.
And it was a black host, and he says, "I will never vote for anyone who even takes $1 from AIPAC."
Wow.
Query whether or not he would still vote for them if they took one dime, but that's another story.
Yeah.
But black, speaking on behalf of a lot of blacks as well, scary.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ignorance on the side of the Democrat Party and the progressives, generally speaking. It's very sad.
Or it's a cult of hate.
Yes.
You started off talking about how Trump was hated.
Yeah.
They hate other things. And what they hate is just going to keep on getting bigger and bigger.
Yes.
It's not going to get less.
Yes.
And that hate's going to destroy them.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about Israel, we're going to also talk about Gaza.
Yeah.
And according to, let me get this article up, but Israel is going to disarm Hamas and disarm it soon.
Yeah.
Or the IDF will retake Gaza with the United States backing. So this is according to Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich. And he says Hamas will be given an ultimatum to disarm in the coming days. And if it refuses, Israel will receive international legitimacy and U.S. backing to act on its own. I think that's very fair.
Yeah.
Israel Defense Forces, that's the IDF, is already preparing for this and drawing up plans.
Nice.
He added, at the political level, we have held several discussions to refine those plans. I'm very excited about this.
Yeah.
And I'm entitled to be excited about this.
Yes.
Gaza ended up being one of the most horrific breeding grounds for terrorism, for rape, for murder, for enslavement of people, and for taking hostages, of course, very famously.
Yeah.
I saw recently the two of the hostages, and they were speaking. These are the hostages that were boyfriend and girlfriend before.
Yeah. And
after they were both released, the man was released later, they got engaged.
Oh, that's
nice. And they are preparing to get married, I think, in a month's time. It's pretty cool.
That's wonderful.
And they were so eloquent, so nice.
Yeah.
But the horrors that they spoke about really gets your blood boiling.
Yeah.
That all you can think of is, how can somebody do this to somebody? Just horrific stuff. One interesting thing that came out of it, and frankly a beautiful thing that came out of it, is that both of them started believing in God deeply.
That's wonderful, yeah.
And not because they were desperate to, but because they knew that the only way, that God saved them one way or the other, and that there must be a purpose for them to stay alive.
Yeah.
And they appreciated that. And they saw little gestures of humanity from time to time.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And that brought them to a world where saying, look, without God, there is no hope at all. This is a world without God.
Yeah.
Is what they basically came to realize.
Yeah.
Meaning not the world generally, but Gaza. Gaza is what happens when you don't have God.
Yeah.
Okay. Now these Muslim mother effers who took these people, they don't believe in the God that you and I believe in.
No, they worship another demon.
It's another God altogether. And I'm not even talking about all Muslims at this point. I'm simply talking
absolutely
these
not.
people.
Yeah.
There's something obviously very evil about them. I'd like to say that I hope to say that they're misinterpreting the Quran in every way possible.
Yeah.
But you're kind of shaking your head like, I don't know about that, Barak.
Yeah, it's pretty clear on some levels. But yeah.
Okay, but I'm paying lip service at the very least to say that there's a distinction between the monsters who took them as hostages and the horrors of October 7, and the everyday Muslim,
right,
who does believe in peace and such. I wish they would speak up a little bit more.
Yeah, pipe up.
That's right. And condemn what Hamas did. That would be nice.
Yeah.
But I'd like to think that there's a difference. So I'm not going to smear all Muslims to have that kind of horrific attitude toward Jews and Israel. I'm just not going to do that.
No, and you shouldn't, because there are so many good people who could never do those horrors.
Yes.
But those horrors are horrors.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a meeting tomorrow, more diplomatic talks, I think, in Europe somewhere, Geneva perhaps, between America and Iran.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is that they're not willing, meaning the Iranians, they're not willing to give up the nukes.
Yeah.
They say, we don't have any plans to do nuclear weapons, but we want our nuclear energy.
Yeah.
Never mind that they are very oil rich and couldn't care less about nuclear energy.
Or the environment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nor have they ever developed a nuclear power plant.
Right.
But other than that,
so they don't even have nuclear power. They just want the possibility.
They're very keen on nuclear.
We're going to die on getting nuclear power that we don't have, and we're not close to. But
it's so irrelevant. It's like saying we want glaciers in our country.
Yeah,
that's like, you're not going to get glaciers.
Yeah,
it's maybe if you were Iceland or Northern Alaska, I gotcha.
Yeah,
but not Iran. Okay, you don't need nuclear energy, and you know it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the fact that they're willing to let their country be destroyed for the hypothetical desire for nuclear energy to power light bulbs and ovens and air conditioning throughout Iran, I don't believe that for a second. They're not willing to do that.
No.
They're doing it because they want to destroy Israel, and they think that they can fool America. Well, they just want, as long as it's for nuclear efforts, just for energy.
Yeah. It's green, bro. It's green. It's
how do they say that in Persian?
Yeah. It's probably
in Farsi, did you hear this thing about, I guess we got to go back to Newsom, Gavin Newsom, because it's a different point, because we were talking about Newsom in Israel before. Now, this is different. Yeah. He had a talk. I guess he's going around his tour, speaking to a crowd, a black crowd, in Atlanta, speaking to the mayor of Atlanta, and it's called the "I Can't Read" video now.
God.
That's what it's being dubbed as now. It's kind of very funny. So check this out. He's just hear him out. Okay.
I'm like you. I'm no better than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy. And I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. Maybe the wrong business to be in.
Okay, so that's interesting.
That's concerning. Yes.
Very concerning. Well, okay, so taking it apart. First of all, he says, I'm like you.
Yeah.
I'm no better than you.
Yeah.
Meaning, what I'm about to say is, hey, I'm stupid like you.
I'm illiterate like you.
I'm illiterate. Yeah. Oh, I can't even read speech. So, aren't I wonderful? And I'm just like you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's breathtaking.
Yeah.
That he doesn't understand how this will be interpreted.
Yeah.
So he's definitely talking down to this crowd.
Oh my God!
He doesn't appeal to their better angels, to their better sense of achievement or anything else. He says, I'm incompetent, like you guys.
Yeah.
So, and the mayor that he's talking to seems to be appreciative of this. And there's a couple of funny lines here. I don't want to speak. I'm not more holy than thou if you got 940 because I got 960.
Yeah.
It's very cute. But then that part about what you just noted that I can't even read. Okay, so you want to be president and you can't even read. So when you sign bills, now I'm concerned because he's a governor, as it turns out. When you sign bills, do you read the bills before you sign them?
Yeah.
Or does someone just give you the gist of it?
Yeah, and who's that person giving you the gist? Are they being fair and honest, or are they tricking you?
We don't even need to go there. I'm simply saying, like, we talked about Joe Biden as auto pen president, but this guy can't even read.
Yeah.
I mean, and this will be played over and over again. I can't read.
Yeah.
And I'll take him at his word.
Yeah.
That's fine. But that means you shouldn't be president, dude.
Yeah.
And just like, somebody who is, severely autistic probably shouldn't be, as much as my heart goes out to autistic people.
Yeah.
Severely on the spectrum, somewhat, like Elon Musk is somewhat on the spectrum, but he'd be fine as president.
Right.
But others, no. Okay.
Yeah.
If you've got, schizophrenia that can't be treated, probably not a good idea to be president.
Yeah.
Let's nuke Russia now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything could happen. It would be very unpredictable.
Right.
So that whole video is very disturbing. For some, it's elitist.
Yeah.
It's patronizing. It's like when Hillary Clinton, when she would speak in front of black crowds, suddenly her whole accent would twang. Trying to speak the way that she perceives blacks to speak. And that was disgusting. If I were black, I'd be offended. Frankly, I'm offended regardless of being black or not.
Right. Or the literacy.
I don't need that.
What is the literacy rate of black people? I don't think it's in the 10s or 20s.
No.
I've known plenty of black people. All of them could read. That was never an issue.
Right. That's right. I do think that probably there is a literacy issue that affects black community more than the white community, but I still think it's a significant minority of that minority.
Yeah, it's not like all of you guys that can't read like me, right, guys? Can't break 1,000 on the SATs.
Can you imagine if Hillary Clinton or Gavin Newsom gave a speech in front of a Jewish crowd? Okay. And they started saying, "I love me my matzo ball soup."
Yeah.
Anyone have matzo ball soup here?
Yeah.
Pastrami and rye. That's the best.
Pastrami on rye is the best.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. Good point.
And watermelon too.
Boy,
I love them both.
I had to schlep across town to get here. It was awful.
Yeah.
But now I have spilkus in my stomach as I speak to you because I'm so nervous.
Yeah.
And if she were to talk to us like that, and refer to the opposition party, what a schmuck, that, all these, am I right, people?
Yeah.
We'd be offended. What are you trying to do? Who are you trying to appeal to?
Right.
And we'd have a sense that we're being played.
Yeah.
And I think that black Americans have felt like they are being played. A great example of that is, what's his name? He calls himself, 2.0. Older guy, black guy.
2.0.
He's on Fox News now.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know. Ted something.
Okay.
But very bright guy. And he heard Joe Biden saying, "If you don't vote for me, you ain't black."
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That was the day he changed. He said, "Okay, that is just trying to race bait me. I am not going to go for it. And I see through you right now. I'm going to be very aggressively supporting Trump at this point." And that was a great result.
Right.
Because we got a good guy.
Yeah.
And but I think a lot of blacks felt the same way.
Yeah.
They felt talked down to. They were taken advantage of. They felt manipulated. That's not good. You don't do that with any group of people. You treat them with respect.
Right.
You assume that they understand what you're saying. You don't talk down to them. You don't use the word "ain't" all the time and talk about mama's home cooking and things like that. Or what's his name? Cracker Pop? What was his name?
Corn Pop.
Pop.
Because he was a bad dude.
It's like, I don't know what that was all about.
And it's also like, this is Atlanta.
Yeah.
These people are very sophisticated. Like, it is a black city, and it is one of the, like, a huge city and a huge economy. These people are not losing. Like, not to put down Baltimore or certain other cities, like, where it's like you have poverty, you have education that slid through.
Right.
Atlanta is, I've met so many people from Atlanta. Like, these are not, like, the lowest and the stupidest of people in the country.
Yeah.
It's really a sad thing to think of Atlanta being that illiterate.
Want to move on to the Iranian situation again.
Yeah.
So tomorrow's the final day. I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think America is going to tolerate anything further.
Yeah.
Either they completely agree to disarm in every respect. I'm talking about nuclear energy at this point, and allow for very aggressive nuclear inspectors and such, or they just get bombed.
Yeah.
And what do you think? Do you think that they're going to go for it? They're going to. I guess there are enough. The American military is surrounding us, and we are going to be blown to bits, and Israel's going to help.
Yeah.
This is going to be far worse than what happened last June.
Yeah.
When the 12-day war. So what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't think that they won't take a listen. There literally could be 15 guns to their heads, and they'll be just as adamant.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, the Khamenei, the Ayatollah himself, he can have 15 guns to his head directly.
Right.
Either you do X, or we blow your brains out right now. I mean, it could be that simple. And I think he was simply not even acknowledge the guns. And that's what's happening here.
Yeah.
That's the nature of dictatorship. It's a blind spot for dictatorships.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
That's why they never get to be as strong as they could be.
Right.
Democracies are transparent, so we get to see what's right and wrong, and also actually use the information in a meaningful way to improve, to grow, to innovate, but not dictatorships. It's all about power for dictatorships.
Yeah, and they do not care about their people, the destruction of their land, because they just care about their power.
Their own power.
Yeah.
But even to the extent that they know they're going to lose power, because they should know that they are not going to be in power anymore if they keep up with this crap.
Right.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I could be wrong. Part of me wants them to simply say, okay, we surrender. I'm going to leave the country. That would be ideal.
That would be amazing, yeah.
Nobody dies at all, although they've killed so many thousands of people in the demonstrations. But from a kinetic point of view, from a war point of view, great. I'd like it not to be anymore.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling we're going to war.
Oh, God.
I just don't see how Trump can pull out of this.
Yeah.
And not do something very aggressive.
Right.
Because if the regime stays in power, and they're going to just kill a lot more people who they perceive to have betrayed the country and the cause.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So then that looks really bad on Trump.
Yeah.
The Democrats will never let him, what's his expression? Never let him forget about it.
No.
They'll bring it up constantly. You had the chance, you didn't do it. And then if he does do it, they're going to say, how come you did it?
Yeah.
It's a lose-lose situation for Trump vis-a-vis the Democrats.
Right.
We know that.
Yeah.
But between you and me and among all the Republicans, I want us to go in.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the only answer. And I think Trump knows that.
Yeah.
And he's been using this time to amass a major force around Iran.
Right.
And now we've got everyone in place.
Nice.
Including the Gerald R. Ford, I believe, is in the Strait of Hormuz or close to it, I guess. Right. We are using Greek air bases now to launch our F-22s. America has just given a lot of F-22s on loan or otherwise to Israel.
Okay, yeah.
So that it can proceed with the attack as well.
Right.
England, Keir Starmer, has decided it doesn't want American planes using English bases.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew he was evil. Yeah. I didn't realize he's a
bad dude. And he's really in trouble in England.
Yeah, the entire government. Yeah.
Wow. So he won't let the U.S. Use his bases to attack Iran.
Yeah.
Now, who's going to be noticing this? Israel.
Yeah.
And Iran.
Yeah.
Because Iran will know that England is on their side. It can be played. And likewise, Israel knows that England is not a friend.
Yeah.
England used to be a very staunch friend. It took a while after the Independence War in 1948, but eventually Britain became a very good friend of Israel. But now with the Muslim takeover of London and so many other interests that have to be appealed to, and Keir Starmer, the progressives and everything else like that, I think it's. And this latest decision by him not to allow the bases to be used, I think we've got a problem with England.
Yeah.
All right. You heard about the tariff decision?
Yeah.
The Supreme Court?
Amy Coney Barrett is yet again a failure.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Trump has options.
Yeah.
It's a meaningless decision at the end of the day. They've already been planning for Plan B.
Yeah.
Plan B includes using Section, I believe, 121 and 323. 122 and 323. And there's also 301 of the code that allows similar tariffs, maybe for not as long of a time period, but similar tariffs.
Right.
And they're not unconstitutional at all.
No.
So he's going to be doing that anyway.
Yeah.
And then the very next day, he ramped up tariffs to 15% across the board.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to do about that, Democrats? I mean, and now they're quibbling about, well, what do we do about the refunds and everything else? No, we don't have to give refunds.
Right.
I'm sorry. No. How about no?
Yeah.
As an answer.
Yeah.
And then the question of all these deals that have already been made. So deals have been made.
Yeah.
And these countries, maybe based upon the threat of the tariffs or otherwise, it's one thing to not impose tariffs. I get that under the IEEPA.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what that stands for.
No.
I know it's called IEEPA.
Yeah.
It's one thing to not impose tariffs. It's another thing to threaten them.
Right.
And extract a great deal because of that threat.
Yeah.
You can't say that that's unconstitutional.
No.
Because you acquired this deal with such and such country, hinting at IEEPA tariffs, you must undo that deal.
Yeah.
No. So the deal has already been effectuated. The deals have been effectuated. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. This one is an interesting one. There's two more things I want to say, and then we'll call it quits for the day. But Susan Rice, do you remember her?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So she used to work for the Obama administration. And take a listen to what she has to say. It's a little creepy. Creepy is the good word here.
Yeah.
So she says Republicans are going to get their comeuppance. Just you wait.
Do you think that after a year of this, I was having a conversation with someone just today about, I'm not going to name them, but institutions that unduly settled quickly, caved, bent the knee, whatever you want to call it, and it doesn't look great for them. It doesn't look great for them morally, on principle. It also doesn't look great for some of them economically, financially, and brand-wise as a business decision. Do you have any thought about whether or not in year two, some of these institutions, private and otherwise, will think twice and will fight more?
Yeah, I think things are starting to change a little bit, and I hope the change will accelerate. First of all, what is happening and is the most important positive development is how the American people, regular average citizens, have come together and stood up and peacefully insisted that we don't want this kind of lawlessness and state imposed violence perpetrated on our streets. The people of Minnesota, above all, have shown us how bravely it is possible to come together and to have an impact, and to do so through peaceful, nonviolent mass protest.
Okay, let me break here.
Yeah.
And simply say two things. Note two things about it. One is that she said that it was state-imposed violence.
Right.
How so?
Yeah.
Okay, we were just trying to arrest people, and you got in our way, and the fights broke out because of that.
Right.
And then you're surprised. You throw a knife at officers, and then are surprised when you get pummeled to the ground.
Right.
That's where the violence happens. You have only yourself to blame.
Yeah.
Secondly, she said that they're peacefully doing all this. Okay, come on.
Yeah.
Look, you can argue whatever you want, but don't lie.
Right.
This was very violent.
Yeah.
This whole thing about mostly peaceful, we hear this all the time. It's becoming a joke almost at this point.
Yeah.
When you say that over and over again, and we see videos that say exactly the opposite, we know that something's amiss here.
Right.
And we question you on everything else.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue.
So I think that is a very important sign, and I think it will have knock-on effects in many other parts of the country. And we are seeing, increasingly mass mobilization for peaceful protests, but it needs to be much broader and much more sustained. It can't just be, as great as the No Kings marches have been, and I support them. I wish that we could muster that kind of energy with greater frequency. But when it comes to the elites, the corporate interests, the law firms, the universities, the media, I agree with you, Preet. It is not. It's not going to end well for them. For those that decided that it was, that they would act in their perceived very narrow self-interest, which I would underscore is very short-term self-interest, and take a knee to Trump. I think they're now starting to realize, wait a minute, this is not popular. Trump is not popular. What he is doing, whether on the economy and affordability or on immigration now, is not popular, and that there is likely to be a swing in the other direction, and they are going to be caught with more than their pants down. They're going to be held accountable by those who come in opposition to Trump and win at the ballot box. And I can tell you, Preet, as I talk to leaders in Washington, leaders in our party, leaders in the states, if these corporations think that the Democrats, when they come back in power, are going to, play by the old rules, and say, oh, never mind, we'll forgive you for all the people you've fired, all the policies and principles you've violated, all, the laws you've skirted. I think they've got another thing coming because, just like when Trump thought, okay, I'll redistrict and the Democrats won't have the guts to play hardball, they're going to be surprised. Democrats have had a belly full, and we're not going to play by, the old set of rules when these guys are playing by a very different set of rules. We're going to play by the law, but we're not going to violate the law the way they do, but we're not going to be suckers. And so I think, whether you're a law firm, whether you're a university, whether you're a media entity, whether you're a big corporation, whether you're big tech, you need to play a long game, not this short game that has been so detrimental.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that was the long thing, but she basically said, we're coming after you.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole concept of being forgiving and forgetting is that's not going to happen. Notice how she doesn't give real examples at all.
No.
And you get this impression from her that we are rounding up people, putting them in concentration camps. We are willy-nilly killing people, imprisoning them, raping them. Who knows? All these crazy things. Never mind, of course, what they had done to our people,
right?
Especially after January 6th.
Yeah.
And tried to go lawfare all the way with Trump, just inventing crap right and left. And then he wants to, understand what happened here.
Right.
But he's doing everything legally.
Oh, yeah.
But somehow she has this distorted view of reality when it comes to what happened in Minnesota, just for example. That's not peaceful.
No.
That wasn't state-imposed violence. Go out there and impose violence.
Yeah.
It said nobody, right? This is about enforcing the law.
Yeah.
Okay. And she sees the fact that we are trying to undo what Biden has done as some sort of great violation of civil rights and American jurisprudence. It does not work that way, lady.
Yeah.
But this is what we have to worry about.
Oh, yeah. And the fact of the matter is, I'm sorry, Antifa is state-sanctioned violence. They refuse to prosecute. They refuse to do anything about them as they're attacking federal buildings, as they're attacking officers. It is exactly like the 1930s in Germany, where you have state-sponsored violence and horrible toughs who are just trying to take over the country that way.
That is such a great point.
Yeah.
That is a really great point. They will not... They only know violence themselves. They're not thugs on the right. It just doesn't happen.
No.
And I would have taken notice of that as a Democrat when I once was a Democrat. I began to see that.
Yeah.
And I think other Democrats, at least independents, may notice this.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't all these Republicans out there, stomping on the faces of Democrats? It's just not there.
Yeah.
And when Republicans are upset about a policy, whether let's say it's a pro-life, people are being arrested for pro-life positions.
Right.
Do we go beat up on the cops?
No.
No, of course not.
No.
It's just one easy example.
Yeah.
But these are the things I notice. These are the things you notice. I wonder if independents and even some Democrats notice this.
Yeah.
I unfortunately, I don't think that they do.
Yeah.
One other thing about that, what was I going to say? I have to think about it later. Yeah. I'll just think about it later, but
yeah.
I'm going to put a pin on that, as they say. So here's a trans Minnesota representative.
So sane, rational.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, what you're about to hear is not necessarily rational.
Okay.
Rational and what you're about to hear are not going to be in the same sentence. So he thinks that porn is a good thing.
Okay.
It's an educational tool.
No.
You are contrary to that position. I take it.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Take a listen.
The basic part of this. So, but above that, I want to talk about some of these bills. You mentioned 25 other states have bills like this, and those bills are not used to do that. Right? These bills are very specific. I mean, they used to do that, but they're also used to do an entire another category of work. And you mentioned the Paxton case. And the AGs in many states are very clear about they're almost jubilant about being able to use these laws to ban young people from accessing content that could be educational if they are queer. And you're a principal, you have LGBT students in your school, and we also know that they're not receiving sex education for queer kids. We know that prurient interest could be, for many people, the very existence of transgender kids. More and more people are saying there simply are no transgender kids. To transgender kids, that is a problem.
Okay, so that is very bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's basically saying pornography is very helpful to sex education. They're not getting education, he's saying, right?
Yeah.
So he's not getting sex education.
Right.
The LGBTQ people.
Yeah.
So in other words, learning how a penis fits into a vagina,
right,
sperm and egg and pregnancies and all that stuff and STDs, that's not sex according to LGBTQ people. I'm not clear on this.
Yeah.
So for him, what he's saying is the prurient interest, which means, you're being tantalized by images of sexual act. This is what happens with men; they get aroused. That's what he means by prurient materials.
Yeah,
which is pornography.
Yeah,
and so that's the way that they learn it.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. So, and he drills down a little bit more on that. What he's saying is regular man-woman sex, heterosexual, vaginal sex.
Right.
That wouldn't be sufficient either, I'm sure.
Right.
Only a trans person engaging perhaps with another trans person.
Oh, God.
And I won't go into details of that, would be somehow acceptable. So in other words, they have to be turned on to learn sex education.
Yeah, no.
We normies, we don't need to be turned on to learn.
Yeah.
But that's the only way they understand sex is by the prurient interest. I mean, his words, not mine.
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
That is inappropriate. That is wrong.
Completely, right? So sex education that there is, and I think it goes too far, by the way.
Yeah.
And then they teach about different kinds of sex, and I don't want to get into that right now. But things that kids don't need to know. Not in sixth grade.
Yeah.
No.
You really don't need it in adulthood either.
You don't need it.
It's just fine.
You'll learn it eventually. It'll come to you later on. I mean, I learned sex education in the most kind of clinical sort of way.
Yeah.
You had these images of cartoons, and it was silhouetted, and here's a man, and he's got his thingamabobber, and here's a woman, she's got her equipment too. And that's it.
Yeah.
They don't show you how they do it.
No.
You figure it out.
Yeah.
And, you're kind of interested in it, kind of not. But you learn at some point later on, I don't know, 11th grade.
Yeah.
There's something called gay sex. Or gay people,
yeah,
right? And then you learn about fetishes and all this stuff. Not that you're into it, but it just, well, maybe you are. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the point is that Devin Goodman is a healthy, wholesome American male who's not into that kind of crap,
and especially not into teaching children that kind of stuff.
Of course. This is a weirdo. This guy.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah,
and the fact that he feels it imperative.
Yeah,
to show very young kids, and we're talking about third and fourth graders now.
Yeah.
Perhaps fifth and sixth. That's still very young. Actual pornography. That's important to him.
Yeah.
That says something about him.
There used to be laws against doing that.
Yeah. This is a way of grooming kids.
100%.
To really screw them up. That's what he wants. See, he's got a screwed up view of reality, and he wouldn't mind other people having a similarly screwed up view of reality.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like the drowning guy who wants other people to drown with him.
Yes.
That's what's going on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And we dare not let that happen. Listen, dude, whatever's going on in your head, my hat's off to you. Do what you want with other crazy people, but don't take us down with you.
Yeah.
Okay, don't change my kid.
Yeah.
So anyway, dangerous people out there. All right, folks. Well, listen, so much more to talk about, but we don't have time. Do like us again on the Barak Lurie podcast. I would so appreciate that. And also, of course, subscribe to our podcast. We need you. We would love to have more of you. We are doing so well over the 10 or 15 years that we've been podcasting now. It's been a
while.
very, very large audience that's developed, and I'm so proud of that.
Yeah,
people like it. They like it because we go into the why of things.
Right.
We don't just describe. We ask, why is this happening? What does this mean? Just like the transgender guy right now.
Yeah,
that's what it means.
Right.
It's not just this is a bad thing. Okay, it is bad, yes, but why?
Yeah.
Why is he doing it in the first place?
Yeah.
We are the Why Podcast. All right, folks, thanks so much for listening today. This is Barak Lurie signing off saying God bless, be strong, and we'll talk with you next week.